That's a good idea.
Hi, this is Sheila with Conscious Conversation Central. And today is Friday.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Today is Friday, May the 31st, 2019. And I'm joined by my gal pal posse. We haven't been together. It's been, what, at least a week, maybe more? I think it's been at least a week. Yeah. 2 weeks? No.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So Lisa Flamino Rush and BZ Rieger. 2 weeks.
Hello.
No, I think it was last week.
Was just you and me last week?
Nope. Last Friday it was the three of us, I believe.
Yes, we did.
We did the value conversation.
Ah.
Yes, which I want to thank you both for again, because there have been some viewers that feel like it was very valuable.
Aww.
So.
Yay.
And it sure made me feel a lot better. So.
Yeah. Nice.
So tonight, BZ actually gave us a title that night that we were going to play with, but I was so, well, verklempt isn't the right word, but uptight might have been. Become a mystery unto yourself, which I liked that because I never got to really know myself to begin with. So for me, and I know that might sound a little crazy, but especially with my heading towards 58, that I really don't have, I won't say a clue, but because I'm starting to get to know me, but most of me is still a huge mystery. Because there are parts of me that I thought I knew that really weren't me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're certainly not part of me now. So I like this title.
Yes.
Well, a lot of people don't, as you were talking about, at 58 sounds kind of funny. They don't know myself, but that's the case for an awful lot of people. But the become a mystery unto yourself is slightly different from what you've been doing, which is getting to know yourself.
Okay.
So I think if playing with and getting to know yourself is really cool, then you can, in addition to that, expand in becoming a mystery unto yourself.
Oh, okay. And I'm saying it like that because, there's sometimes I feel as though I'm kind of lost all up in her anyway. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other almost. Well, so for me, I
So you can become a mystery unto yourself in all sorts of ways. And part of it is in every moment when, do you get up in the morning and you may have a routine, you may have a habit. Mostly, is there a routine and a habit where a thought or a kind of churning flow kicks on and you just go that way? So what if part of the mystery unto yourself deals with the languaging within your head, the feelings within your body, the normal thought processes going on, the routine labeling. I mean, it's way beyond that, but just to give you some starting points, it's your labeling of certain things, because that sets up a whole thing. Routine is one thing, but where we're not noticing, we're not actually flowing, we're just in this groove, and we sit up in bed, put our feet on the floor, and we get on that little was a monorail thing, and it kind of takes us through, stops at the bathroom, stops at the kitchen, go, if you're commuting, go out the door to this, and right, and you're just kind of gliding along. And So that in that respect, that's why it's very easy not to know yourself, because you sit up in bed and you put your feet on the monorail and you do this thing, and coffee or this, or I have to do this, or I've got responsibilities here, and it's just this thing. There's not an aliveness to it. There's not a noticing. There's not a being present. There's not a connection with different things. I mean, there may be little snippets of that, but for the most part, that's why it's kind of a funny but a good thing. You sit up in bed, you put your feet over the thing, you put your feet in the monorail, and you get up, and it takes you where you go. So that's why I say, that's a good way to jump off to get to know yourself. But when you become a mystery unto yourself, it's and someone just said, well, I have to go to work, so I have to get up at a certain time. Great. Well, then get up 5 minutes earlier. What all the things you're going to do, get up 5 minutes early, sit up in bed, turn and put your feet over the side of the bed, but don't put it on the monorail yet, or just sit up in bed, or just stretch and notice everything, and just look at your hand for a moment. Wow, what's that? As if you're meeting all of it, connecting with all of it, experiencing all of it for the very first time. You go someplace on vacation, and you go and you see something, and you go, wow, what's that? It's a mystery. Now, there may be a local, oh, well, that's just a blue jay. Well, if you're from a different part of the world, or a different continent, or even a different state, if you're talking about the U.S., a blue jay over here does not look like the blue jays back east. So in that essence, it's a mystery. But when you behold something like that, when you encounter that, there's a sense of wonder. Someone else may say, well, it's just a blue jay. But to you, look at, I'm talking about the ones out here, their top feathers go like this and this, and wow, that's cool. Look at, everything is new. There's meaning it, because you're not sticking your feet on the monorail and says, oh, that's a bird. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I've been walking the yard with that kind of presence that you're speaking of. And it reminded me of babies, to be brutally honest with you. That's what I love about children, because they're not jaded yet. They're excited about everything. Even the mundane things that we all take for granted are brand new and thrilling and exciting for them. And they have no agenda. They're not late for a meeting. They're not just trying to get through this so they can get to Friday night. They have a way of showing up in the world that is delightful. And I've been trying to emulate that. So not be worried about what's happening on Friday night, or I have a big appointment with anything. I'm trying to meet everything with new eyes. Mm-hmm. Like I'm meeting it really for the first time, because I am. Because like you said, I've been sort of, well, that's a bird, that's a tree. But to really embrace the idea that it is a sentient being, now I'm communicating with the tree. And I'm getting information as well as admiring the beauty. Like, I don't know, there's so much more that
pet a tree. Yeah. I mean, go pet a tree and watch what opens up in your life by petting a tree. People are going, what are you talking about? It's amazing. You never,
really?
And I noticed the last couple of days there have been, on my Twitter feed, there's a few people putting on some videos. Someone is blind and he got glasses that can see, or can't see color and got glasses that can see color. And I always chuckle when I like watching the experience and connecting, but I always chuckle because people are like so excited and they're so amazed. I'm thinking, yeah, but we can all do that every moment, because this particular one was a gentleman, he has a sense of wonder because it's brand new, but we can do that all the time. And when we do that all the time, when we become a mystery unto ourselves, it changes everything. We have color in our world, literally and figuratively.
What both of you seem to be describing, as far as I'm concerned, what's coming up for me when I hear this, is, or what I have held it for as for myself, is a method of deprogramming myself. BZ, you talked about, it's very rote. You get up in the morning, you throw your feet over. That's all programming and conditioning, all of it. And by taking that a different tack or approaching it in a different manner, taking a look at your hand and the marvel, quite frankly, the miracle and the marvel of what is going on right within the hand itself, for just a moment even, interrupts some of that heretofore rote programming that we've all allowed for ourselves, the conditioning and the programming. And that's one of the reasons why, when I first realized, just calling out "bless you" when someone sneezes without even thinking of it, that's rote conditioning. And by interrupting that within myself, it began to deprogram myself. So part of what while yes, approaching these things with a sense of wonder opens up so much new, it strikes me as a method of deprogramming self. And since no matter what or who, what different quarters folks are in, specifically in the category of folks who feel as though they are waking up, we all still have programming and conditioning. So these are wonderful ways, is what I'm hearing you describe, and whether you hold it as that or not is totally up to you. But I still feel like it's a wonderful way to it's like an interrupt signal. And it's a delightful interrupt signal. It's not something that becomes a chore, is what I feel. And the noticing that Lisa's talking about is just even, I don't know, it's joyous and joyful.
Yes.
So why not?
Yeah.
It's actually being present in this now moment,
right.
Being aware and communicating with what is. It's a delightful way to be.
And letting go of labels for yourself, because this is the focus is on, becoming a mystery unto yourself. So how many times do people talk about going someplace and they say, hi, my name is X, Y, and Z. I'm a X. And the X is usually, your job description, or some people, this is kind of an age-old kind of a thing. Well, I'm an executive assistant, or I'm an executive. And someone else may say, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom. And some may say that where they stand up very tall, and for them, it's better than an executive. It's the thing to do. And for some, it's, well, I'm just, stay-at-home mom. And within of those different conversations are labels. And no, you are a being who is playing the role of X, Y, or Z. But that's not who you are. So that's why it's actually very simple to become a mystery unto yourselves, because most people have no clue who or what they are. And
I love that part, because it made me think about what I'd been doing when we were selling some things on the Facebook marketplace. And when I was arranging to meet folks in different areas, I would say, well, I'm the rather striking silver-haired beauty that you'll see drive up in the 92 gold Oldsmobile. I don't know. It just seemed fun. So that's why I was laughing the whole time you said that, because I'm like, yeah, So the next time you meet somebody, think of something lovely about yourself and introduce yourself that way.
I love that.
That's what it brought to mind for me.
Yeah, I mean, that is the way that you can play. One of the ways that you can play with this. I find myself, sometimes I'll go to a place, not necessarily to buy anything, but if I happen to see somebody and I have got a few minutes, I'll go in. It may be like there's a little artisan gallery or something like that. And I like to go through and just immerse myself in the energy envelopes that each different thing is giving off, because there was a being who had fun, who had creativity, who had passion rushing, and was doing this. And it's like walking through the holodeck on Star Trek, or a virtual reality kind of thing, because as I encounter each thing, whatever it is, I step into the envelope of the piece and the creator and all of that, and can feel and play with the energies. So it's not just a painting, it's not just this, it's not just that. It's an experience of creativity. It's an experience of, perhaps there's frustration, and you can pick that story up and it moved in a totally different direction that created something new. But it's a wonderful thing to experience. And or I'll drive down the street as I'm kind of doing my through different places and sending my energy flows behind me, all different colors and stuff. And as I do that, I'll notice the different cars or the different houses or something in a different yard, or there's more acreage out here because it's kind of the country. But and I love to marvel at how everything is so different. I'm not saying, well, that's a really fancy house, or gee, that yard's a wrecker. It's just everything is so different, and each being the piece of property, where it is, if there's animals on it, or there's not, I can't describe it anywhere. There's a sense of aliveness and energy, and even if the aliveness is alive with despair, alive with kind of degradation and crumbling, because maybe someone there is sick and can't take care of it, or for whatever reason they just kind of they keeping things, and so now there's like a junk pile here and there, very useful to them. And actually I'd probably go through and say, well, that's kind of cool, sort of thing. But so I'm not looking to paint anything in a certain way. I'm just purely looking to experience what's there. And one of the reasons I love doing it, it's like going on a date with myself, where I'm experiencing me in a whole new thing, because all these stories come up, all of these videos come up for me, not only of what's right in front of me, but what has been there before, to use linear terms, what is going to be there soon, kind of things. And so when, yes, it's how I'm encountering whatever it is that I'm looking at, but it's also a revealing of mysteries within me, because there are things within me that, if I take 3 steps back, when I was 3 steps back there, I had no idea that were in me, or could do that, or could see that, or could interact that way, or whatever. And they may not last very long or be around very long, but in that moment, it's like, well, that's kind of interesting. So again, I'm not, and I don't expect it to always stay the same ways. So part of it is a different way to intentionally go and do things. And part of it is not being attached. Well, I kind of said the same thing, but not being attached to different things.
Well, something else that struck me in what you're speaking on there is the being open to, because you've both used the word data, and there's there's absolutely a lot of rich, full data in everything. But that is also a choosing that one must actually choose, because there was some, like you were saying, I heard some folks, well, I don't have time for all that and all of that, those sorts of things. I get it with the jobs and those sort of things. And I also get that as we rail against the systems that, have perpetuated scarcity and, lack, that is the entire point, to close down so that you don't allow this openness, the choice to be open, to allow all of the beauty and the magic of what is in. Because what I have found is the more I choose to be open and allow that beauty and that magic to just flow in, I don't have to judge it. I can decide later on if I like what I see, if I don't like what I see. It doesn't really matter. For me, the being open to the reception of all of that is there opens the doors, which is quite frankly becoming that mystery that you spoke of unto yourself. Just the choosing to be open to experiencing something. It came again with what you were stating about being in an art place and stepping into that. Okay, yeah, let me see. I can look at this and I can say, oh, okay, that's a really cool blue rock. Or I can just allow it to show me all of the nuances and the waves of different things that are contained within it, and just be open for it to show me what all it might like to show me, rather than, oh, it's a blue rock, next. Because that is what we're trained, programmed, and conditioned to do. Look at it, discern what you want, and move on to the next, because you got to have that productivity down. You don't got time for that. And so if I say, that is a first step. I really feel like that's a first step.
I want to play for a moment, very linear and very tight aperture, no expansion whatsoever. And I'll use the words to describe it. So every time that we have a thought, or actually give it verbalization to it, even if it's just to ourselves, or as you're watching something like this and part of the conversation, I don't have the time, I got to go to work, you in essence think of having a big, I don't have anything to, think of having a big stack of bills in your hand, right? Big stack FRNs, Federal Reserve notes in your hand, which are probably worth less than this Post-it notes, because this Post-it note can be stuck, and so you have a big stack of these, and every time you say that, tear one off and give it to the man, because that's what you're doing. You are reinforcing it. You are upping your investment in their investment in you, of being in the system, of being on the treadmill, of holding things in place just a little bit longer, of solidifying their energy every single time. And think how many times we say or think or feel or kind of, think I'm not talking about a day, in an hour.
I don't know why this just came in, but it did. And so I'm going to go with it. And this is for all those who do have those linear workaday jobs, because you got to have a job. If one does begin to open themselves up, I'm not saying quit your job, or, because I get it. I mean, I get that. But maybe by doing something like this, you're enriching your own existence to the nth degree, let me just say.
Right.
And I just got really dizzy about what I'm about to say, so I know it's really, really, really good. But also, you're becoming part of the fifth colony. That's a term about taking the system down from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you expand and become more joyful and point things out, because that I'm very clear, oh God, just as we unbind and unwind all of this within ourselves and show it to others, because that's what's happening.
It's
A
an
lot of
inside
folks,
job. It's, you said maybe. I think you had a qualifier on there, maybe, or
I don't think so.
okay. Well, anyways, if there was, I would just erase that part, because there's no mistaking it. I mean, I know that I couldn't do the amount of work that I do, and to the exemplary excelling levels that I do it, if I didn't do it the way I do it, which is all of the stuff that I share, about just even just in this example. And it makes, again, from a linear, it makes me more efficient, makes me more creative, it makes me more productive. It makes the company, more profitable, more, all of those kinds of things. And that's just a tiny bit of what I do, and the value that I give.
Yeah, well, it just doesn't, I don't see where it would take anything away from anyone.
It doesn't, but that's part of that misconception.
Right.
Well, that I have a job where I have to do this, or I have to focus on this, and so on and so forth. And when I, for example, if because of that productive level and on all those things, this is just very, but when I take a little time off, there needs to be 3 people that replace me.
Yep. I know you've shared that with Lisa and I before. I don't know if you've shared it on camera, but
to be able to say that, like I said, I think this is a really important metaphor, because so often people want it to be over, and they want to get this done, or I have to do it, or whatever it is. And no, we actually don't have to do anything. And we can all make a difference. And this is a way to play with it. You can do it in large ways. You can do it in tiny ways. You can do it in super, super minuscule ways if you want to think you're playing it safe and do it that way. You can do it at working. So, hey. You can, what you're doing is playing in the realm of just yourself for a moment. And yes, when you're at work, you can do this. So when you look at something, and time is actually an illusion, and more that's becoming evident to people who are even, really time sticklers. They're, they don't know what happened to the day, or why I got done so fast, or whatever it is. So again, that the confines of those kinds of things, time issue and gravity and all those kinds of things, we are actually morphing and changing as all of this expands. And if we don't do it for ourselves, then no one else will. No one will do it for us. No one can give us all of the benefits, all of the magic, all of the expansion, all of the abundance, all of the flow of all that we would have been given voice to say we want, and what we're waiting for. And I can't wait to get all this. We're the only ones who can bring it to us. And we're the ones who can bring it to us in these ways quite beautifully, quite quickly, and quite in a delicious way that we never saw coming.
Yeah, delicious isn't really even the word, to be honest. I mean, I just it makes everything so much more fun to see the magic in everything, just
Yeah.
everything, and it has opened up quite a bit for me in all kinds of different ways.
Cool.
Well, wow.
Yeah.
I like the idea of becoming a mystery unto oneself. I mean, who doesn't like becoming a discoverer of a mystery?
And since you're multidimensional and you're ever expanding, you can continue to become a mystery. It always morphs and changes.
Yes.
Well, what I'm finding is that it also brings a lot of other things that one might not ever have considered or
Yes.
known.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like all of these things, it's just, a few shavings on the tip of the iceberg. And that's part of the dance. That's part of the magic of of letting yourself be that effervescent light being that is in an embodied vessel, a magnificent embodied vessel that has all sorts of incredible capabilities and things that it does.
Well, I've loved this conversation, ladies, and I want to share with the two of you. I know, BZ, I know you saw me shuffling before I started because I asked a fairy to come and come and give us some energy for this conversation, and what we got was Penelope Dreamweaver.
Oh.
And so I think that was a perfect card
Mm-hmm.
for the energy of this conversation. Yay! Did either one of you have anything else you'd like to add to this conversation?
Become a mystery unto yourself. You'll be glad you did.
I agree. Well, we will have a way for everyone to get in touch with both BZ, well, all of us actually, Lisa and myself, in the show more section of this video. If you are interested in coming and participating in a conscious conversation, there's a way to contact me there too. Like and subscribe, and also there's a little bell icon if you want to know get notified when I upload videos. And thanks for watching. Till next time.